The UNLV Runnin Rebels started the season at #1 in the preseason polls, and with good reason. This team was absolutely stacked. Led by future NBA star Larry Johnson, UNLV had multiple elite scorers along with a very solid bench. The combination of athleticism, size, skill, and depth made them more difficult to beat than a Las Vegas casino. One major change that came this year was the format for the top 25. Well, at the time, the AP only had a top 20, but expanded this year to include an additional 5 teams, a rule that stands till this day. Just like every year, the season concluded and March Madness was underway. A list of notable upsets were made this year, including 14 seed UNI beating 3 seed Missouri, 8 seed North Carolina advancing to the Sweet 16. Sound familiar? The 11 seed Loyola Marymount making a run to the Elite 8. This last one was particularly special as Loyola rallied to make a run following the death of star player Hank Gathers. In his junior year, Hank became only the second player in history to lead the nation in scoring and rebounding in the same season. To put into perspective how talented he was, the most legendary performance came in a nationally televised game against Shaquille O'Neal at the LSU Tigers. Gathers totaled 48 points and 13 rebounds while being guarded by both O'Neal and Roberts, both future first-round picks. After collapsing late in a 1989 game against UC Santa Barbara, Gathers was found to have had an abnormal heartbeat. He was prescribed medicine and continued to play. His cardiologist asked him to come in for testing after the WCC tournament. In the semifinal game against Portland, Gathers scored on an alley-oop and shortly after got in position for a full-court press. He collapsed a few feet in front of point guard Eric Spoelstra. Gathers tried to get up, but shortly after stopped breathing. At 6:55 that evening, Gathers was pronounced dead at just 23 years old. To honor his fallen friend and teammate, Bo Kimball decided to shoot his first free throw of every game left-handed. Gathers was not a natural free throw shooter and used his left hand to improve his shooting percentage. Kimball finished a perfect 3 for 3 on left-handed free throws. The legend of this Loyola team lives on in lore of NCAA tournament history and is one of the best Cinderella runs ever. What wasn't a Cinderella run, though, was the teams that met in the championship. Both the Duke Blue Devils and UNLV Runnin Rebels were among the favorites to win the tournament. And what is becoming a trend, this highly anticipated championship game really wasn't much of a game at all. Led by the ultimate Chad Christian Leitner, Duke got off to a pretty slow start behind a series of turnovers. UNLV took advantage of these turnovers by converting them into fast break points. The run continued as Greg Anthony scored at the buzzer to end the half. A pair of Larry Johnson threes and more turnovers from the Duke Chads led to another run, resulting in the largest margin of victory in national championship history. UNLV completed its run, and just as it started the season atop the poll, it also finished the season atop the poll. And as always my favorite part, one shining moment played as viewers watched the historic win.